tardes y buenas noches. Donde sea que estés en este momento, esto es El Momento. Y yo soy tu host, Eleanor Rio. We're going to do things a little differently today, and I hope you enjoy it. So take a deep breath, because this is El Momento. A while ago, I watched a rather inspiring movie called A Million Miles Away, which is about a man named Jose Hernandez, a migrant farm worker from Mexico with a dream of becoming an astronaut. Despite getting rejected from NASA 11 times, Jose eventually made it to NASA and flew on the STS-128 space mission. He currently serves as a regent of the University of California. So, ¿por qué les cuento esta historia? Why am I telling you this? Because somewhere towards the end of the movie, I began to feel a sense of connection with Jose. I felt heard. Every single time a movie comes out about the Latinx community, I get so excited because then I can finally see myself in at least one of the characters. I can feel like my family is being portrayed there on the screen. It's the little things that sometimes matter the most. Overall, the movie was absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend it, but that's not what this episode is about. This episode is about la cultura and the effects of assimilation on second-generation immigrants. Like I said, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. First off, what is a second-generation immigrant? A second-generation immigrant is an individual born and raised in the U.S. who has at least one parent who is foreign-born. In my case, both of my parents immigrated here from Peru in search of a better life, the American dream. Since I was old enough to remember, I always felt odd because of my heritage. I have a vivid memory of my first grade Spanish class. The teacher asked us to count to the highest number we could in Spanish. I kept going along with most of them. 1, 2, 3. Then we got to 10 and I kept going. 11, 12, 13. And by the time we reached 15, I was the only one speaking. I think I got to about 100 before the teacher stopped me. That was the first time I realized that I was a bit different than everyone else. It's almost like an out-of-body experience, being a second-generation immigrant. It's like I belong to one group of people, but I can't really identify with many of them. But at the same time, I can't fully identify with the other group either. It's the feeling of being torn between two worlds. Whenever we go back to Peru during the summer, it's like I'm at home. It feels like I'm being reunited with a piece of my soul that was lost. And when I say we visit Peru, I don't mean the tourist spots. I mean we stay in la casa de mi abuela, right in the center of it all. It's typical to walk places instead of taking cars in Peru, and I frankly like it more that way. It's so amazing to just soak in everything while you're walking. But then I remember that I don't look like everyone. Although I don't look like a typical tourist, I'm still too white to be a Peruvian. However, when I'm here at home, I feel like I look too Peruvian to be an American. I think growing up, this played a lot into my self-confidence. It was difficult to love myself and the body I was in because all of the girls that I saw on TV or read about in books who were pretty never really looked like me. I tried everything I could to look more American. I started parting my hair down the middle, which, as silly as it sounds, was something I associated with looking like everyone else. I got blonde highlights at the tip of my hair, which, side note, completely ruined the naturally soft hair I had maintained, and I simply just tried to throw away my heritage. It wasn't until about a year ago where I truly started loving myself. I realized that there was no point in trying to hide who I was, and actually it was hurting me more. And honestly, looking back, I don't think anyone around me cared as much as I did about my own appearance. So, to wrap this all up, why am I talking about this in the first place? Estoy hablando porque I want all of those little Latinas out there who feel like they need to change themselves in order to fit in, to listen to what I have to say and realize that they really don't. To be able to see themselves in me and feel like, if she can do that, then why can't I? And honestly, even if some little girl out there is listening to this today and feeling like, wow, I'll never do anything like that, that's okay. Tú vas a ser una estrella en tu propia manera. You are going to be a star in your very own way. I think the only way we are going to be able to help the second-generation immigrants in this country with their identity struggles is by allowing them to learn more about it and take pride in it. The biggest turning point for me was when I stopped viewing my identity as a hurdle I had to jump over, and I turned it into something that I should embrace and care about. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Esperamos que regresen la próxima semana para un episodio nuevo. Mi nombre es Eleonora Río, and this has been El Momento. Until next time.